This episode is brought to you by LifeLock. Between two-factor authentication, strong passwords, and a VPN, you try to be in control of how your info is protected. But many other places also have it, and they might not be as careful. That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats. If your identity is stolen, they'll fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit lifelock.com/podcast for 40% off. Terms apply.
Hey, I'm Frank, and I have hidradenitis suppurativa, HS. Before starting Cosentyx, I was so uncomfortable with my symptoms, like not being able to sleep on white sheets or wear white clothes. Now I can appreciate the little things.
Cosentyx secukinumab is prescribed for adults with moderate to severe hidradenitis suppurativa, HS. Don't use if allergic to Cosentyx. Get checked for TB before starting. Increased risk of infections and lowered ability to fight them may occur, like TB or other serious bacterial, fungal, or viral infections. Some were fatal. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms like fevers, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, had a vaccine or plan to, or if IBD symptoms develop or worsen. Serious allergic reactions and severe eczema-like skin reactions may occur. Learn more at 1-844-COSENTYX or Cosentyx.com.
You're stronger than HS. Ask your dermatologist about Cosentyx.
Hello.
Hi, Megan.
Welcome to a very special episode of Don't Blame Me. Think of this like it's the day before summer break and your teacher's like, I don't really want to teach anything. Like, let's watch a movie. And then your teacher also is like braiding your hair and like, you know, you're all doing French braids to each other and you're like whispering and gossiping and you're not getting in trouble. And then they pass out candy.
Yeah, this is that. Minus the candy or movie, but we live a very cinematic life.
We do. Everything we do. We're the main characters of our own movie. And you should make sure that you are the main character of your movie. Also know we are the main characters of your movie as well. Yeah. That's okay. It's an ensemble cast.
We love a side character.
Of course, of course, of course. So for if you have not been listening, we are taking a quick summer break after
today.
I was like trying to calculate which one. Yeah, after today, because I will be digging up them holes in the mines. Mining.
We're actually recording this earlier because I will be going to Beyonce this weekend.
We're both in the country.
Well, last weekend, but yeah, we are both in the country in different ways.
Yeah, we're country girls doing country things, and being a country girl, multifaceted. Sometimes it involves shaking your ass. Other times, shaking a tray, get the dirt off, and inspecting those rocks.
I'm so excited for you, though.
I'm geeked.
First, make sure you go in a few days. Wish Megan a very happy birthday.
And if the weather's still okay, maybe we'll go to Disneyland on my birthday. And also, the day that you're listening to this, it is Harry James Potter's birthday.
Is his name just Harry?
Harry James Potter.
But it's not like Harold.
No, and I do think that fucked me up permanently because, like, I will be honest with you. I didn't know that Harry was short for anything until generously maybe 2 years ago.
Is Harry Styles? Is his name just Harry?
It never even crossed my mind that it wouldn't be.
Is Prince Harry just Harry?
Harry is just Harry. Like, I had no idea it was short for anything.
I did have someone that was like a father to me, and not a father, my father's friend. I don't even know where that man is today. And his name was Harry.
Like, when someone said that, like, their name was Harrison and then you could say Harry, and I said, what? Like, that didn't even make sense to me. So Harold really doesn't compute.
So, yeah, he's Harry Edward.
That's
Harry
Mr. Styles?
Okay. And then Prince Harry. Yes, he is also just Harry.
Okay.
So,
makes me feel better.
And everybody I just named is British, including the Potter, so.
Maybe it's a British thing. I don't know.
I don't know
anyone named Harry. Like,
the one Harry that I did know was a Black American man. So,
was that Harold or Harry?
They call his name might have been Harold.
That's what I mean. Sometimes when it's like, turns out, I'm not sure I know most people's government names.
I mean, my dad has a friend that we all call Posey. His first name is Tony. I mean, his last name is Posey, but his first name is Tony. Even because he's like my dad's best friend, like Erli and the other kids call him
Uncle Posey.
Grandpa Uncle Posey.
I'm dead. Grandpa Uncle. That's so funny. What a mouthful for those kids.
Yeah. I mean, Erla came up with it because she was like, well, you're old, like my grandpa.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't want to call you uncle.
Yeah, I know. But it's like, I don't want to call you grandpa because that implies you're
my
grandpa.
Yeah. And she was like 3 when she came up with that. So, like, his name is Tony. And one time I just was like, Anthony. And he's like, my name isn't Anthony, it's just Tony.
Yeah, you never know you never know if someone's like, oh, this is what you call, like, this is what everyone calls me because that's my nickname, or like, no, my parents named me this because everyone was going to call me this. Why give me 4 extra letters if no one's going to use that? Yeah, I think about that all the time when, like, I used to give Mods shit because all of his fucking college friends, aside from like 2, that's actually generous, all go by their like last name. And I was like, that's like so silly. I'm not gonna, like, when I was meeting them, I was like, I'm not gonna introduce myself. Like, and then when I met them all for the first time and I realized as I was being introduced to them, they're introducing themselves to me. When there are 7 Zachs in a row, I said, I'm understanding why we're doing the last name. Like, it's literally like they've got 4 names that 90% of the men in that group have.
Yeah.
And they're all just, and I was like, yeah, and let's call you by your last name because this is getting incredibly confusing. You'd think there's no other name in the world besides Zach.
Yeah, I had so many Zachs in high school. So many Zachs.
I can only think of one.
That was a very popular name.
We had 2 Zephyrs.
Never heard of that, except for you. I've heard of you talk about them.
Yeah. What else did we have? We had 2 Keenans. We had 1 Emma.
Emma is more like a Gen Z.
Really? I thought it's been popular for a long time.
It's been popular, but I feel like it was like number 1.
Friends?
I don't know, but it became like a number 1 name a little bit after us.
Okay.
Like, it's always been in like the top 50, but then there's like a ton of Emmas right now. Emmas are like what a Sarah was for me.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to say, I thought Emma and Olivia were popular at the same time. And like, we had at least.
And they're both old names too.
Olivias.
It's that
Yeah,
rotation.
And soon, everybody just know Tiffany will come back.
Yeah. It's going to be a bunch of old Tiffany's. And that's funny to me. A bunch of old Tiffany's, a bunch of old like Brandy's.
Also because
those Gen X names, that's just funny to me.
Also because like Tiff, that's the grandma I want. Grandma Tiff.
Grandma Tiff.
Grandma Tiff has her eyebrows tattooed on. And like, I love that about Grandma Tiff. Grandma Tiff is drenched in
there's going to be a lot of Grandma Kimberly's.
Oh my God. Grammy Kimmy?
Yeah.
I love Grammy Kimmy. She gives the Toll House cookies. She lets you eat the half-baked cookie dough. Like, she's a hoot and a holler. She doesn't like your mom, but, you know, whatever. Yeah. She's a fun time. Yeah, I love that idea.
But then I'm like, is Gertrude going to come back?
Gertie? I think Gertie's kind of cute. That's what the daughter, Emily Osment, played in Spy Kids 2, Island of Lost Dreams. My favorite Spy Kids movie. Her name was Gertie. Gertie. And she had pigtails and they spun really fast like propellers and she flew from her hair.
Well, this feels like if it's going to have a comeback, this feels like the time.
It does, because we're in the era of like the Mods and the Maves and the Nora.
I love Nora. Nora's always been one of my favorite names.
It's a cute name. Clara. I knew a Clara growing up. I babysat a girl named Clara. The boy names don't cycle through like this because I feel like Noah's always been a thing.
Noah's always a thing.
James is always a thing.
But the iterations of James, though, like a Jim and a Jimmy.
Okay, we already said that I was confused about Harry. That's brand new information to me. That's all. Is James
James is the name, and then you got Jimmy and Jims. But like, we don't hear Jimmy or Jims anymore because it's like, like Jim.
Oh,
I just meant the plural form of Jim.
You're right. But I was like, I've never heard somebody named Jims.
No, but like, we don't hear James I feel like James is having a cycle right now, but there's not going to be any Jimmys or Jims.
Well, I guess it makes sense because like, you can't really name a baby Jim. Like, this is my baby Jim. Like,
but I think that comes from like having the father's name be James and then the son is Jimmy And then as they get older, they switch. And then the son, and then the son has another baby. So then it just like trickles. So then
he takes his final form as a James.
Yes. Grandpa becomes Jim.
Uncle JJ.
And then the father becomes Jimmy or James, and then the baby becomes James or Jimmy. Wow. And that's the cycle of James.
Circle of life.
Mm-hmm. But we're not gonna. Richard would be one. They're not naming people Richard anymore.
Well, I think finally they said enough with the dick joke. Like,
if it's just gonna be Rich or Richie. Yep.
Yeah.
No dicks though.
No dicks. No dicks here. A name I really liked growing up that a kid in my school had was Rocco. I was like, that's fun.
That's a kid on General Hospital.
I would
Rocco
not be
Falconeri.
Now that you say that full name, I'm going to tell you right now, I would not be shocked if I found a lot of similarities of naming patterns of your soap operas and where I grew up in Marin County.
Yep.
Like, there are parents like literally thought it would be funny to like name a kid. I don't want to say his first and last name. So let's like say his last name was like Smith or Smiths. And so they named him like Smiths.
Yeah.
Because like, that'd be funny. And I'm
Why
like,
would your name shouldn't be a joke?
No. And I'm like, thank God, like these kids are cool. So like it works and they're fine. But
what was Smith's last name on? You didn't watch Sex and the City.
What?
You did watch
Sex? About? Smith Jared.
Smith Jared.
Oh my God. Look at you saying I didn't even watch it and you're asking. Of course I know Smith Jared's last name.
Sorry.
Plus I own the box set of DVDs of Sex and the City. And I refuse to donate them, even though they are on streaming. I still have them.
Why aren't you watching it just like that?
I think it ended wonderfully.
Which iteration? The movies or the TV show?
There you go. So when I watched the TV show, the TV show ended. That's the end. And then I watched this thing that's brand new that is not based on any original IP, which is the first movie. And I'm like, this is kind of fun. And then I watched the second movie one time and then I said, what is that? Never again.
I feel like just like that fixes a lot of things that was wrong
in the second movie,
but also not just the second movie, but Sex and the City as a whole.
Yeah.
But then also makes its own problems of just being poorly written, but I cannot get enough of it.
Maybe I should. I need to get Moss into it and like watching it, and then he'll want to watch the show, I bet.
Yeah.
It's just the issue is like it's so long that I don't know how.
I don't think you need to catch him up. Like, I think you can come in.
No, I can just pick my favorite episodes. And
I don't even think that. I think you can just come in with, like, as this is a brand new show.
I just think that he would like original Sex and the City. I want to show him the baseball episode. There's a lot. We're skipping the Russian. He's going to hate that.
You should do the pot episode.
Yeah.
The
lady who falls out of the window.
That's the one I was thinking of that falls out.
Yeah.
I was like, smoking. Yes, that's what it was. She wanted to smoke.
The Post-it note. That's going to get him right in the...
I think you should watch that. That one is one that you should watch for context because he does come back second season.
Unfortunately, we do need to watch Charlotte struggle and then come back on top.
You know what struggle episode you should shoot with Charlotte? The one where
she's trying to have sex with Trey.
And his penis won't get hard and she ties it. Charlotte is unhinged as fuck.
And everyone's like, I'm a Charlotte. I'm like, Charlotte's a freak.
She's the most freaked out of all of them. Even Samantha, she's a quiet freak.
Yeah. Yeah. If someone's not telling you what they're doing, you should be concerned.
Yes.
Samantha's laying it all out in the public.
The thing is that Charlotte is doing it with a smaller number of men. Yeah. So she's getting all her free. Samantha was just having sex with a lot of different men.
But also, like, some of the biggest freaks you'll know are people who are in long-term relationships because they're trying to, they need to spice it up.
Yes. Yeah.
Freaks.
Yep.
Well, so the fun part about what we're doing today is we actually got a lot of updates today. And we were like, what if we do an update episode? And the fact that, like, oftentimes we'll only pick one update. And so then if we get a couple in, like, the timing of them is a little bit later. But these are all 3 recent things we talked about.
Yep.
And we have updates for all of them. So, like,
let's just do it.
Let's do it.
We're going to start with a don't blame them, though.
And don't blame them is where someone will write in or call in with their own advice pertaining to a call or submission we had on a previous episode. So they are giving their own advice. It could be from personal experience or whatever, anything. And they're just spreading the wealth, helping out a little bit more.
And I just want to say, when y'all write in for updates or don't blame then, please let us know what episode it came from, because when you say the recent episode of Don't Blame Me, I don't know when we're going to actually read it. So it's not technically the recent episode. And also give us a little summary of it just in case we forget.
And also we've already recorded more than you've heard. So it's not the most recent for us. But also I would find it helpful. Tell us the episode it's from, but then tell us what specific part. Because sometimes people say the episode, but then the call that they're talking about isn't from the title call. Yep. And I'm like, wait, what?
Yep. All right. So this is the one where someone had called in about how they dress a certain way and they hate how men stare at them when they go out. This person says, I really felt this girl struggle. Sometimes I don't want to leave the house because I feel so objectified, especially by men in vans/cars. For me, having this sense that there's a million eyes staring down at me made me walk with my head down / feel ashamed of my body, and definitely affected what I wore. But I started to give these men the death stare back, just stare deep into their souls as if to say, hi, I'm not an object. I'm actually a person and I see you and I know what you're thinking, etc. Or just give them a dirty look and makes them feel shame. It can be fun unless there's a chance for it to get dangerous. Also for the caller, listening to Kendrick or other self-empowering music often helps me walking around. I feel like a bad man and that these ogling men should be terrified of me, LOL. Easier said than done, but I hope this helps the caller. She is so far from being alone.
Yeah, it's unfortunately a universal truth. But I noticed yesterday on my walk that like my default face is scowling at people. Mm-hmm. And I also saw online someone was talking about, I might be paraphrasing because I might be just taking everything else. I think they called it the Winter Soldier Walk, which I'm like, maybe I'm just horny for Bucky. And I was like, that's what I interpreted it.
Are you?
I love, I not with the long hair.
I thought we talked about him before and you were like, yuck. Or maybe it was just the actor.
No. I think Sebastian Stan is he can get it.
Oh.
Yeah. Not all the time though, because similar to Rami Malek, he's an incredible actor. And when he takes on a role of someone who is slimy, somehow he becomes visibly slimy.
Yeah. I love him. And I thought for some reason that you didn't.
No. I love him. That's how you got me into actually enjoying Captain America, because you were like, I promise, because I was like, I can't look at this. What am I watching for? Right? You just have to get through this. You got to get to the other ones and then you'll like them. And then when he popped up, I said, me likey. Yeah. Me likey when I'm seeing this man. He was in Gossip Girl too, which is crazy to think about.
Bucky. Somebody should
Somebody's
make an edit to that.
Okay. A classic. Just goofing off with your friend in class day before summer break. We are aligned. We are so aligned.
Yeah.
But this walk. So like basically like people were saying that it's a very heavy footed walk that like, and everyone in the comments was like, ooh, me, a tall bitch with flat feet, already do this naturally. And that's what my
Annalise Keaton walk.
And that's what my walk, like that's, what it is. Big stomp energy.
The other day I was driving with my top down, as in my car, not my tits out. But a man was driving beside me, hooting and hollering. And I mean, literal, ooh, 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 ah, ah, ah. And I was like, the fuck is going on? I thought maybe there was something wrong with my car.
Yeah.
With maybe the trunk is open. I would have been able to see that, but I thought,
yeah, but something's
gas
wrong.
Tap,
something.
No, I look over and he is full of lust. And I just glared at him and then sped off.
Good. What kind of car was he in?
Fucking a truck.
No,
So he could see right down into my car.
That's the part that I find so when I had the bug, I'm like, no, when your car could eat my car alive, you need to you need to assume the personality of your car. Like, you need to know that, like, I'm in something that could literally drive over this person. I'm not going to be like, hey, little lady. I'm taking that as a threat.
Yep.
I'm taking that as a fucking threat. Except I know my Transformer would be so much nicer than your Transformer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right, we're going to take a break. And when we get back, we'll get into updates.
Are you looking for a movie review show where the critic is at the top of his or her game, meticulously breaking down and explaining exactly why a film does or does not work? Well, good luck with the search, because we're having fun here on Adam Does Movies. Each and every week, I hit the big blockbusters, I cover the streamers, and I even toss in some movie news for fun. Check out the show on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, on YouTube, and hopefully, we can do movies together. Hot.
How does love work exactly? What makes something funny? How does noise affect your health? These are just a sample of the fascinating topics we discuss on my podcast, Something You Should Know. We bring you leading experts on topics important to you, things you can use in your life and that will fascinate you. We deliver 3 episodes a week and have over 1,000 episodes available to listen. So get listening to Something You Should Know wherever you get your podcasts.
It's ticklish business any way you look at it. Come on, we'll stick together.
Love movies? Love classic movies? So do we. Ticklish Business is the podcast where classic film is discussed in modern times. Hosted by me, film journalist Kristen Lopez, and my co-host, author Emily Edwards, we dive into the golden age of cinema with fun, heart, and serious expertise. As published film historians and lifelong classic movie buffs, we bring insider insights, deep research, and lively debates with a variety of special guests, ranging from celebrities like Holly Madison to TCM luminaries Dave Karger and Eddie Muller, and even family members of old Hollywood legends. Subscribe now to Ticklish Business on your favorite podcast app, and let's talk about old Hollywood today.
We are back from our break. I guess I should give you the lowdown if you want to call in for an upcoming episode, and then you can give us an update. Maybe we'll do a whole other update episode of people like this. But you can give us a call at 310-694-0976. International listeners, send an audio message to meghanpodcast@gmail.com. Anybody can also just type out what you want to say. Keep it under 300 words to that email address. You can fill out the form that is listed in the show notes. It's also listed in our bio on all of our socials. And for all of it, you have to be 18 or over. Let us know your age. It's all anonymous. And write the circumstance situation you found yourself in that you want our advice on. We give you advice. And hey, you might be someone who also can give us an update. Or you can be someone who's given us multiple updates. And we've built a saga of understanding your life.
Yeah.
First update. Hi, I'm the one with a quote unquote friend who loves sending voice memos. And I'm here with an update. So when I wrote to you, I was already responding once a week to her. She would send me 8. Oh my God. She would send me 8 voice messages and I would respond with 1 or 2. So when I saw that this doesn't work, I just responded with a text to her voice message and lied and said that my baby is now very sensitive. And if I talk, she'll wake up from her nap. And so I only respond when she naps. I love lies. And she never responded to me, crying, laughing. We saw each other at our mutual friends and her husband's housewarming party. She even brought a fruit pouch for my baby. Oh, and she hasn't texted me or sent a voice message since. So I think I'm in the clear. Thanks for your advice and help. So the episode that this was in was called Nude Beach FOMO, and it aired on April 24th of 2025. Also, the way I was Nude Beach FOMO. People tell us about ourselves that I don't even remember. Constantly. That they're remember this? And I go, what are you talking about?
I don't remember at all. That's why I gave that little precursor at the top, because sometimes I forget. And I have a pretty good memory, but we do so many of these, it's hard to keep up with all of them.
When the one that will always be a reoccurring hilarious one to me is the fried cum. And we were disgusted when people said that. They go, bitch, we're referencing you. Mm-hmm. You both did that. We're both us?
And then we had the same exact conversation. Allegedly. I don't.
Yeah. We were aghast and proceeded to have the exact same conversation that they were referencing. They go, yeah, that's what happened afterwards. And I was like, okay, well, I guess it does kind of sound like me then. Because we actually just did that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I don't want to make more problems for you. But bringing a baby a fruit pouch That's like really sweet. Maybe it was like an olive branch. Was it an olive flavored fruit pouch? Like a charcuterie board themed fruit pouch, and it was like it was a representative of an olive branch of like, I'm gonna stop sending you voice memos.
Maybe, but it's a fruit pouch.
That's true. I mean, if I brought someone a fruit pouch, I'd have to like go buy one.
Yeah,
like a singular one for that. Except
I
will
actually
say,
don't, because I do drink them.
I was gonna say I love a fucking fruit pouch. There's some like kid and toddler snacks that I'm like, great. When my nephew was into puffs, which were these,
I don't know what they are.
Slightly
Sweetened.
peanut buttery-ish, but mostly look like packing peanuts and seemingly tasted like them.
You can eat packing peanuts.
I know you can. Is it just cornstarch or something?
I forgot, but I know that in a science class, my teacher, once a year, he would get some shipment in and then would do a science lesson around packing peanuts because it was a specific thing that he needed to order once a year. And then he would do the lesson and then we would all eat them. And honestly, disgusting. I don't know who's touched that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I don't know what's been crawling on that.
And also, like, we know that, like, they're porous. They absorb things. So whatever people are touching it, it's soaking up all those juices. Yuck.
Because it's not only to cushion, but also to keep moisture off.
Yeah, like those little silica pouches. Which, honestly, the amount of times they said don't eat those, I was like, okay, I was never thinking about eating them, but like now I kind of want to.
Eat a Pop Rock instead.
Oh, I love Pop Rocks. What about baby bottle pops? Did you like those?
Baby bottle pop.
Baby bottle pop.
Because it got too sticky. Because you had to dip it and then lick it. And too sticky.
Yeah, I was one of those kids who just like pour the stuff in the mouth.
Yeah. But then at that point, you might as well just have a pixie stick.
No, I mean, I think I was mostly doing for some reason, baby bottle pops were like cool. And it was like, oh my God, like, look at me. It's like having a smoothie at school. Like, you're like, it's a prop. I don't think I was doing much of the dipping. The only thing I liked pouring in my mouth was if it could be Pop Rocks, but I wasn't allowed to have Pop Rocks. So instead I would do emergencies. I would dry swallow.
Not the same thing.
Emergencies.
That's disgusting.
I know. I did it recently.
It also needs to be activated with water. So it wasn't even like you weren't getting what you needed from it.
Well, no, what I needed from it was a tasty, fizzy delight in my mouth. Like, it was nothing health related. It was just, that was what I had access to. Yeah, don't be too granola, everyone, or your kids. Something will they won't. It's not good. The kids are not all right. They're just not.
No, I did love a pixie stick.
Do you like Fun Dip?
That's what I was trying. I was like, what's it called with the dip and the stick?
Yeah,
Fun Dip.
That's like an old one that I remember they brought it back, and like all the parents were like, "Oh my God, Fun Dip!" And I was like, "What the fuck is this shit?"
Yeah, Fun Dip was cool. What else? That this probably wasn't allowed for you, and I think it might have got banned by the time you were eating it. But it was like shredded gum that they would call tobacco, chewing tobacco.
Yeah, we had a really old, so like in my town, we didn't have any like chain stores. So we had Sherman's General Store, which was like, they had like games and kids stuff and some like I Spy books and whatever and candy. And I swear to God, they had not placed an order for candy since 1978. So like there were like Mars bars that when you like any of the chocolate had that like white dusty stuff on the top, which is just like the blooming of it. It's still fine to eat, but like it's old.
But it just
But we also
crusty.
had that gum, which you couldn't even blow, but like it was so old.
Fresh you couldn't blow because it wasn't actually.
Yeah.
It was just chewy and it pretty much disintegrated in your mouth.
Yeah, I remember. I never liked bubble. I wasn't like a bubblegum flavored person. Yeah. I liked what's that? I liked Big Red.
Big Red hit.
Yeah. But we also liked that one gum that was like a zebra and like the tattoos. Yeah, I liked that one. I liked anything with an activity.
Yeah, that was a good time.
It was. What about the like the squeezy jelly candy that's like in a tube?
Hated that.
Disgusting. Never ate it.
I don't like Jell-O, and that was just a softer Jell-O. But I love jelly.
Jell-O. Oh, wow. We're so different. I love Jell-O. I'm not a huge jelly fan.
Love a good strawberry jelly. Hate Jell-O. Makes my head hurt.
That's so unique.
I know.
Huh. I wonder if it's a gelatin thing.
I mean, I eat a lot of other things that contain gelatin.
But maybe it's like more highly concentrated.
Maybe. All right. We're going to take a break. When we get back, we'll get to the next one.
Look, there are a lot of celebrity interview podcasts out there, but there's only one, Happy, Sad, Confused. I'm Josh Horowitz, and yeah, I'm the host of the show, so I'm a little biased, but truly, Happy, Sad, Confused is the place for nerdy and intimate conversations with all your favorite actors and filmmakers. From Andrew Garfield and Scarlett Johansson to Christopher Nolan. Casting what-ifs, backstage stories, and much more. Listen to Happy, Sad, Confused on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
My name is Troy LaValle, and I'm the host of the Glass Cannon Podcast. This is a podcast where my friends and I sit around and play role-playing games and record it. Through improvisation, using comedy and drama, we take the rules of whatever game we're playing and we turn it into appointment television. It truly is infectious fun. We travel the whole country playing rock clubs, turning games like this into a spectator sport. So please, check it out, the Glass Cannon Podcast. If you want some joy in your life, give it a listen.
Bros love reality TV. Have you ever noticed your boyfriend or husband in the background while you're trying to wind down and enjoy The Housewives? They linger in the back of the room and ask questions, offer their opinions, but when you ask them to take a seat and watch with you, suddenly they're not interested. Well, here at Bros and Shows, we are tired of perpetuating that dudes don't love reality TV, because guess what? We do, and it's time we erase the stigma that comes with it. And we cover it all, from Real Housewives to The Bachelor, from Vanderpump Rules to The Traitors, and we're ready to give you our takes. Bros and Shows, a podcast from the bros for everyone, for whoever wants to listen.
All right. Shall we
get back into it?
Yes.
You sure?
Yes. The thing is, I was going to finish what I said, but then you asked a question, so then I had to answer the question that you asked, and it just tripped up in my brain for a second.
That's fair.
All right. So now we have an update to that person that didn't want to go to the theme parks for their friend's birthday. And they start out by saying, "Melissa, my queen, I'm so sorry for spelling your name wrong. Please forgive me. I'll take it into consideration. I'm currently listening to the episode and going to provide more insight as requested. 1, we live in Maryland. So August is peak heat and peak humidity. And I believe what has now been declared a tropical environment at 90% humidity. Oh, no.
It was like 88% here.
So quite literally a miserable environment to be outside in for longer than you need. Summers here are grueling. Also, you can't breathe in that.
Yeah. You need a nebulizer.
You're like wet and can't breathe. No, thank you. If I'm going to be wet and can barely breathe, might as well be fucking.
I'm going to skate past that one. I just looked at the Maryland weather on the Apple app. This Saturday, it will be 90 degrees and just raining all day. That's too much.
Yeah.
Like, it has lower humidity than LA right now.
Mm.
That's a big misconception. Everyone thinks LA is dry heat and dry cold. No.
It's medium.
It is. It's a medium humidity. Some days it will get like humid here, but our winters are wet winters. I'm not talking about the rain. I'm saying that everything feels damp.
Yeah. All right. And then 2, the park of Six Flags America. What?
Sorry. No, I'm picturing Maryland at 90 degrees raining at Six Flags America.
Mm. Which is actually shutting down after the summer. They're all shutting down.
I wonder how that old dancing man is going to do. Like, what's he going to do now?
40s and now they're 70.
They were doing backflips. I don't think they were 40.
Yeah, just like Martha Stewart in that commercial.
No. Yeah, because that was without
was
Martha Stewart.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I saw it. I saw her blonde hair flipping.
Yep. I actually saw the man that did
Yeah,
it
you
on
fucking
TikTok.
do.
Where was I? Because I got interrupted again.
Sorry, that's my bad.
Shutting down this summer because of low attendance, which, have to be honest, does not make me feel great about the condition and care of the rides themselves.
Thank
The
you.
food is not great. The staff is not fabulous. It is just not an ideal situation. She's doing it for the nostalgia because she grew up going, but when we were kids, there were two groups: Six Flags kids and Hershey Park kids. I was a Hershey Park kid because my mom knew I didn't like rides, and similar to Disneyland, Hershey has other activities for people who aren't into rides. I also, when I lived in Pennsylvania, was going to Hershey a lot too. And that chocolate.
I have also been. I don't think I went on any rides though.
No, I don't think I did either. I went for the food.
Yeah. I went for the little tour. I went for them to show
For the chocolate.
I loved watching the videos of them making the kisses. I love that.
3, I ended up doing exactly as you said and was honest with her. I'm scared of roller coasters, so would love to take you out for dinner instead. She was super understanding. Thank you, ladies, for responding to my submission. And yes, that is my email signature. I used to work in event production, and it just became a phrase I was known for, so eventually it became my email signature. Thank you so much again.
Do you remember what it was?
No, half-ass, full-ass, or something like that.
Yeah, it was something that I was like, adopting that into my lexicon. Like, that's like, what a great catchphrase to have.
Whole ass and not half-assing. I'd flopped it.
But that's so good.
It is.
Like, so good. Yeah, this sounds like my personal hell. Also, as someone who has only time I have ever been to Hershey Park was the middle of summer. It would have been like the same time. It would have been like early August or like end of July, probably around early August, because I was usually there in Pittsburgh for my birthday. Like, that was, the weather is like so crazy. I remember I almost died and I didn't know it. And my cousin saved my life. We were in the community pool splashing around, and then it started thundering and I was like crazy. And then and then it started raining. Everyone just started hopping out of the pool. And I was like, I don't know, like 7, and like didn't really think much of it. And I might have even been younger, like 5. And my cousin saw that I was still in the pool, and I probably only kid in the pool at that time. And I like wasn't rushing to get out. And he just like grabbed me and like pulled me out and he was a big kid. Pulled me out as fast as possible. 2 seconds later, lightning hit the pool. And I was like, oh, what? Okay. And it was like, it just like that pivot. And I would not want to be on a metal ride during that kind of unpredictable weather. Like, had no idea it was going to rain, let alone thunder and lightning.
Yeah.
And I don't want to die at Six Flags. Ugh. Well, Six Flags is in Maryland. I'm assuming you have the same weather. I don't know how close they are together.
If you're going to Hershey, and they're pretty close. We used to pop over. I know DC isn't Maryland, but it's basically over there.
Maryland's like one of the only
Baltimore. We go to Baltimore. Yeah, when we lived in Pennsylvania, we would just hop in the car and we're popping over to places all the time. New York, Baltimore. But it wasn't that. It was just that everything just seemed so close. And we just go. It was easy to get to a lot of different places.
I mean, we would drive all the way. We would drive from Connecticut to Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
it was kind of long though.
I mean, we had this big conversion van. I think I've showed you a picture of it before. And so it had big, comfortable seats. You could lay the back out like a bed, which I think is illegal now. And it had a TV and a VCR.
Yeah.
Not like up. It was like in the middle, so you could just look straight on. So get in, watch the Goofy movie, take a nap, and then we're there.
No, when I am reincarnated, I want to be reincarnated as one of your sisters. Like, that sounds so fucking fun. Like, that was I like finally, again, as a theme, like a little bit older than I always wanted them, but I finally got like a handheld portable DVD player that like if you went over a bump, it skipped. And I was like, oh my God. But I used to like look at like on TV shows or whatever of like those families had like a lot of kids and they pile into like one of those big old place. And I was like, looks like we're going on a tour. Like, that's so fun.
It was fun. It really was. It also had, and this was, before iPods and things, it also had like individual at each seat. You could put your own like cassette player in and put headphones in and listen. It was the best van. Like, it was perfect.
Melissa, we need to get that van. Like,
I know.
We need to go on tour in that van. Well, I mean,
but we need
one.
to get a version of
that van.
Yes.
That's like the van from like my like decom dreams. Like, that is like, oh my God, that's so cool. Damn.
All right. We're going to take a break. When we get back, we'll get into the next one.
From the podcast that brought you to each of the last lesbian bars in the country and back in time through the sapphic history that shaped them comes a brand new season of cruising beyond the bars. This is your host, Sarah Gabrielli, and I've spent the past year interviewing history-making lesbians and queer folks about all kinds of queer spaces, from bookstores to farms to line dancing and much more. You can listen to Cruising on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. New episodes air every other Tuesday starting February 4th.
In humanity's search for other worlds, we found something unexpected.
It's a massive collection of tiny pocket realities, and each one is a story.
But when we explored those stories, things didn't go as planned.
Mr. Darcy?
I am Mr. Sherlock Holmes.
Ah, humbug.
What happens when classic stories go wrong? I go in to fix them.
I am Dracula, and I bid you welcome.
Subscribe and listen to Muse, the latest audio drama from Dayton Writers Movement and Realm.
Do you love Disney? Then you are going to love our hit podcast, Disney Countdown. I'm Megan, the Magical Millennial.
And I'm the Dapper Danielle.
On every episode of our fun and family-friendly show, we count down our top 10 lists of all things Disney. There is nothing we don't cover.
We are famous for rabbit holes, Disney-themed games, and fun facts you didn't know you needed, but you definitely need in your life. So if you're looking for a healthy dose of Disney magic, check out Disney Countdown wherever you get your podcasts.
We are back, and it is time for our final one. This is an update on wanting to elope. This is an update to someone who had called in about breaking up with their boyfriend permanently. It's been on, off, broke up, got back together, and he had cheated and had been very toxic, and they had been together, like, really first relationship ever, like, been together for a long time. Should I just handle this and settle for these things and this behavior that he says now he's really going to put in the work and change? Should I take him back, even though I'm finally done with it? But he's saying this, he's going to change, and I'm worried that I'm not going to find anyone better. When I talk to my friends about it, they're saying I should forgive him and that, like, nobody's perfect. And reminder, this is a serial cheater. So this is their update. Thanks for the advice. Some thoughts. I don't believe that those friends have bad intentions, but they can't necessarily give good relationship advice, and I'm keeping that in mind. I'm closer to the friends saying break up, but I worry about being annoying / overbearing. I have very few close friends, only one in my city, and I don't want to put too much burden on my only friendships. I've tried joining clubs, but generally struggle to find people I could / want to be close with. I also just graduated, so it's an awkward spot, and fear potentially moving somewhere new and having to start over making friends, which has consistently been really difficult for me. My parents aren't an active problem, but due to trauma, I'm not comfortable leaning on them besides for financial support. I know they'd want to help if I asked, but we also don't have a relationship where their comfort / support is necessarily helpful. The feelings that I'm difficult, a lot to handle, annoying, overbearing, etc. are my own feelings / insecurities / worries, not things he said to me. Since breaking up, he has shown some improvement and stated his desire to change for both for himself and us. He wants me to be with someone better for me, but he thinks he can be that person. But I agree, he should want what's best for me with or without him. I've tried several antidepressants over the past 3.5 years. I'm concerned about trying new ones because I've had side effects of the others. The idea of moving and having more life to live is difficult because my depression is so severe. I can't necessarily look ahead and feel hopeful or excited at what else is down the road. I think it's time for a genetic test for what antidepressants will metabolize best in your body.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're the perfect candidate for that. And that is like readily or much more readily available than it has been in the past. And I will say I am not a doctor, but learning that like side effects have like essentially like a shelf life, like for a lot of time, like getting used to a medication, like for 3 months, might have like shitty fucking side effects. And like some are like adverse reactions, not side effects, but like you should eventually not have any of those side effects anymore. So like giving something like the shot that it needs to see if it works in that, and then being like, oh, okay, these side effects aren't going, this is helping, this is not helping. But I think the mental health still needs to be your number one priority. And I will not lie, I am worried that it sounds like you're going to get back together with this guy.
Please don't.
Yeah, don't. Because, and you're even saying like, these insecurities of mine are on me, they're not him. But I'm telling you right now, him cheating on you does not help that. You know what I mean? Like his behavior, it is a nonverbal way of confirming the negative feelings you have about yourself. Someone who treats you poorly and who you let treat you poorly, that is a reflection of your own value of yourself. Not how much you are valued, but how much you view your value.
And I also want to say, like you said, you don't believe that those friends have bad intentions. Those aren't your close friends, so they don't actually know you. So I firmly believe you shouldn't be talking about your relationship to everybody because they don't truly know you. And you're saying that the friends that you're closer to are saying to break up to them. So why are we listening to people that barely know you?
Yeah. And also like this sounds like you do have friends. Like what are we not, we're saying that this is not like, you don't have very many friends, but like, I guess like, what are we considering that? But now you're saying that you're recently just graduated. I could understand if like you're kind of like your peers or like you're used to like big social groups of people have like that's not really what people have into like adulthood. Like to me, It sounds like you have friends, but you are really just getting in your own way. You're getting in your own way of your friendships. You're getting in your own way of your breaking up with it. Like you're getting in your own way of all of this. And like, I understand being at a place where you're like, I'm at an impasse. Like, I don't want to do this, but I also don't want to do this, but I don't want to do this. You have to make a choice. And making no choice is still making a choice.
Yep.
And it requires the same amount of thought, the same amount of effort as making a choice. And like, you have to deal with the consequences. And I think like in this situation, this is one of those things where it's like, okay, I can feel exhausted about the, like the side effects that I've experienced for this. But ultimately, I also think that like when we talk about like, the thing that helped me was because I was nervous about side effects for birth control, which is obviously different. But like, I realized that like my period was the condition I was dealing with. And the side effects were cramps that were so immobilizing, cysts rupturing, like tanking mental, like all of these things that I'm like, oh, okay. Now I'm picturing that this is a medication that I am taking that's making me feel like this. I need to try something else to not have these feelings and these like life side effects of this, where it's like, as opposed to being like, this is like my constant. And if I introduce anything else into this, that's going to be like a new side effect. But like depression has side effects. You know what I mean? Like depression has side effects of other things too. And there are things that are a trade-off, but like, I think sometimes we can get comfortable with like the state that we already know, we recognize, like it's like the devil you know versus the devil you don't, and that kind of a thing. But ultimately, something exists out there to help. And like the thing that's I've always found helpful is like when doctors are like, in general, there's like a handful of people who are like so medically complex, but like not like just because you haven't found success for that does not mean, even in medical standards, it's like a medically complex thing. And even if it is medically complex, there are other alternatives and different treatments and all of that stuff. But I think it's going to be really hard to put yourself first and even like make friendships. And you're saying like having a hard time with like, if you're going to have to move and like start over and all of these things. I think until you start putting yourself first, you're not going to be able to do anything that requires you to put yourself first.
Mm-hmm. And moving, and you're saying you're like in an awkward spot because you fear that moving somewhere new, having to start over, making friends has been difficult for you. Like me and Megan both moved to LA.
Mm-hmm.
I knew my cousin that was here and that was it. And he worked a lot. And honestly, him and I we've seen each other more in the last few years than we've seen each other our whole lives. And because we didn't grow up, he was here in California, he was in Santa Barbara, and I was in Arkansas. I remember like visiting him a few times and seeing him a few times during my childhood, but we weren't friends by any means. And then like the friends, I mean, I've been here for 14 years now. Like the friends that I initially met that I had for a minute were like from an internship, but I would just go places. The thing is like when you move somewhere, you have to like go places, and going places is where you meet new people, join an activity. If you're alumni group, I met a lot of people through like my alumni group. That's how I met Catherine, is that they were having a watch party for alumni to come to. And like, it's making new friends, I feel, is difficult only if you don't go places.
Yeah, if you don't put yourself out there.
Yeah. But you can also make friends online.
Yeah.
But like if you want in-person friends, you just have to put yourself out there and go. And it is scary, but like I think it's scarier not to have friends.
Yeah, I think so too. And like if I think about it this way, like I forget how old this person was. What, 20?
I think 22.
22? Because I was gonna say
21.
Yeah. Melissa and I didn't even know each other when I was 21. Like I think there's like depression has a way of like narrowing your worldview, and like you have a really hard time putting things in a bigger picture perspective, which like is very normal and very typical. And because of that, you can then end up settling for things because it feels like, well, this is all I have at this point. I'm having a hard time looking forward into the future. And to that, like a therapist will help, a psychiatrist, a therapist, all those things will help make that so you can widen your scope of like how you view, you know, the world and life and all of these things, so you can make decisions that are centering you and your happiness forward. But I think when you're not happy and you're like just like really miserable, it's like really easy to like let other people contribute to you feeling miserable and like being shitty to you or whatever, just because like at a certain point, like, and I'm not a believer in like, until you love yourself, like how are you going to love anybody else? But like, I think you don't have to necessarily like have like so much self-love to love someone else. I think the healthiest way to love someone is to have a lot of self-love. But I think that you have a hard time accepting love from people when you're not caring for yourself. There's so many options and so many things to try, and like it can be exhausting totally. But like, to be super honest with you, all of this sounds exhausting. Like these shitty friends sound exhausting. This fucking ex-boyfriend sounds exhausting. And like you can hop back on that train, do the old rigmarole again. But I think you're going to end up exactly where you are right now again. And you might be even more tired about like figuring out what medication works for you and doing genetic testing and all of that. And all it takes is like one day of having the energy and the capacity to like make the doctor's appointment, and then waiting however long until that. And then you need one day of the energy to do the appointment. And like it can be a day by day sort of a thing.
Agree. All right. That's it.
Woo! What an episode. What an update. Hags, have a good summer. Have a kick-ass summer. Is that what you signed in yearbooks? Hags?
I forgot about that until you said right now.
I want to find my old yearbooks. I mean, I don't have them.
I'm sure mine have been thrown away.
How much were your yearbooks?
I don't remember. Probably like 70. I don't know. Seems right.
Yeah. I think we had one that was like, if you were late buying them, of course I was, it ended up being like $120. They just kept increasing the price. And I was like, well, I'm the only one in our class who hasn't bought one. So this feels targeted because I forget. We hope you all enjoyed this little update episode. We hope you have a kick-ass summer. Had so much fun getting to know you this year. Hope we're in the same homeroom next year. Thanks for letting me cheat off of you. And what else do you say in a yearbook?
I'm writing on your crack. Does it tickle?
Whoa.
Did you ever do that one?
No.
You wrote on the inseam of the when it's open,
That
and then
is
I'm writing
so
on your crack.
funny.
Does it tickle?
Oh my God, that is so funny. We used to always be like, stay sex. I think we literally had one like, stay sexy. I think we literally did like,
There
stay
was
sexy,
something.
stay golden, pony boy.
There was some acronym, but I can't remember. I don't know, but the crack one, that one really,
I love that.
Yeah, it's a good one. And the thing is, you want it to be the first one because you couldn't do it once somebody already did it.
Totally, it doesn't tickle. You're not close enough to crack now. That's so funny. Still, my favorite is, and I didn't realize this until like way later when I was going through and reading my yearbook stuff. Was a guy that I hooked up with in high school. He wrote in my yearbook, Megan, it was good getting to know you, in quotations, getting to know you this year. And I was
in
like,
the biblical sense.
Why did you write thanks for the fuck? Like, had fun fucking you essentially in my yearbook. Like, that is fucking crazy. And because he's like, I got it right in your yearbook. And I was like, okay, we're friends for sure. Go for it. And when I get it back a month later, I looked and I was like, are you kidding me? I have to show, eventually, if I show my future children this, I go, what does that mean? Well, he was inside mommy. He's not your daddy, but he was inside mommy.
Oh, all right. Yeah. We're gonna be playing repeat episodes for the next week. If you have anything that you would specifically like us to hear, I can't guarantee that I'll be able to find it, but we'll get Diane on the case, our resident researcher.
Yep. Keep in touch.
Yeah.
Stay cool.
I think it would be KIT. We put like Kit.
Oh, keep in touch. What about this one? Lilas, love you like a sis.
Well, yeah, but that was just how we would sign notes that we were passing.
Oh my God. I'm on Reddit and I asked like yearbook sign offs and I didn't realize it was on the Ask Old People subreddit because someone said, be a good girl, lead a good life, but don't be a mother before you're a wife. And then someone said Catholic school? And they said rural Midwest. I'm like, okay, yeah, that was not. Yeah. Okay. Oh, don't ever change.
Yeah, that was a good one. Did you go to the gym and everybody had time to sign? That was only senior year that we were able to do that.
Yeah, we had senior night, but people would bring their yearbooks everywhere. I'm sure we did that, but I did have a habit of not getting my yearbook on. I routinely have never gotten my yearbook on time, quite literally ever. There was one time in middle school, my 8th grade yearbook, I did not get until after school, the day after school was over. And so then I just my friend wrote in my yearbook as people at our school pretending. So we had an aide in our PE class named Mark, and he used to wear these really, really tight shirts. And so I literally wrote a whole thing and then signed it, Mark, the ill-fitting tank top PE guy.
Yikes. I do now remember, though, there were only certain teachers that I wanted to write in my yearbook.
Yes.
And then, the emotions that would overcome me when I would read their message. And I'm just like, they're probably sick as fuck of writing this shit and trying to come up with something original. But some of them were very, my cheer coaches would always write, very long, heartfelt ones. And then... my English teacher, I feel there was just a lot of the ones that I wanted were sweet. My physics teacher, Mr. Jinx, so cool. I loved him.
I love that.
All right. Well, bye.
Okay. Bye. This is a Sister Sign production hosted by me, Megan Rinks.
And me, Melissa D. Montz, plus Diamond Imprint Productions.
Post-production by Coco Lorenz.
Production assistance by Melanie D. Watson.
And music by Ryan Hunter and Giacomo Picasso.
Are you looking for a movie review show where the critic is at the top of his or her game, meticulously breaking down and explaining exactly why a film does or does not work? Well, good luck with the search, because we're having fun here on Adam Does Movies. I talk to you like we just got done seeing a movie together, giving you the pros and cons, and I'm digging in the trenches, in the mud and muck, on streaming services, telling you which films are worth your time. Each and every week, I hit the big blockbusters, I cover the streamers, and I even toss in some movie news for fun. Because this show is Adam Does Movies. I'm obviously Adam, I probably should have led with that, but perhaps I have led you to check out the show on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, on YouTube, and hopefully we can do movies together. Hot.
Oh, hey there, it's a promo for a podcast. Great! Exactly what you want to hear when you're settling down to listen to the podcast you actually want to listen to. Well, give me just a few seconds and then you can go listen to whatever it is you're listening to, your true crime podcast hosted by former child actors or reality stars, whatever it is. My name is Troy LaValle and I'm the host of the Glass Cannon podcast. This is a podcast where my friends and I sit around and play role-playing games and record it. Through improvisation, using comedy and drama, we take the rules of whatever game we're playing and we turn it into appointment television. That's the best way I can explain it. It truly is infectious fun. We travel the whole country playing rock clubs, turning games like this into a spectator sport. So please, check it out, the Glass Cannon podcast. If you want some joy in your life, give it a listen.
Let's clear this up right now. Bros love reality TV. You may think it's all sports all the time, but have you ever noticed your boyfriend or husband in the background while you're trying to wind down and enjoy the housewives? Oh, I know the type. They linger in the back of the room and ask questions, offer their opinions, but when you ask them to take a seat and watch with you, suddenly they're not interested. Well, here at Bros and Shows, we are tired of perpetuating that dudes don't love reality TV, because guess what? We do, and it's time we erase the stigma that comes with it. And we cover it all, from Real Housewives to The Bachelor, from Vanderpump Rules to The Traitors, and we're ready to give you our takes. We aren't here to step on any toes. We just want to join the conversation. Bros and Shows, a podcast from the bros for everyone, for whoever wants to listen.